This new information comes as we are beginning to learn even more about the final weeks of Aaron Alexis's life. He told Rhode Island police last month that he was hearing voices and was being followed by 3 people who were sending microwave vibrations through his body to keep him awake. He said the 3 had been sent by someone he had argued with at an airport, and I spoke to a family who thinks he may have been talking about them. Brother and sister Michael and Glenda Boyd were waiting for their flight at a Virginia airport last month when they encountered the man they now believe to be the Navy Yard shooter. I asked them earlier today how their unsettling encounter went down.
My family and I were at Norfolk Airport returning to Birmingham from a lovely weekend, and we were sitting there waiting to depart, and this young man approached us from behind, stood next to us, and just puzzled with his hand on his head, just standing there, and he wanted to know, was this lady laughing at him? That lady was my aunt, Rosalind Ball. And I said to him, she's not laughing at you, she's just laughing. He stood there for a moment, he left. He come back about 5 minutes later, and he walked around in front. Sitting there was my sister-in-law Vivian Boyd, myself, and my brother Michael Boyd. He stood about 2 feet from us, and he said, that lady, she laughing at me? She keeps looking at me. What's she laughing at, you know? And I said, she's just laughing, you know, she doesn't even see you. And he wasn't satisfied with that statement, so he started, you know, getting a little belligerent and start using profanity and going off, and he kept reaching towards his midriff, his waist, like he was reaching for something, maybe a weapon, and he never did get any, you know, retrieve anything, but he just kept reaching, and he just got louder and louder and cursing and more, and my brother commented, he stepped in.
Michael, what'd you do at that point? Were you worried that he was going to do something?
Yeah, I was kind of like startled. I was like, this guy here that's pretty strange for him to come and confront us like that. And my aunt wasn't even looking over near him, and he was just like paranoid. I said, this guy here must be paranoid. And I told him, I said, hey, guy, my aunt wasn't even thinking about you. I said, you need to go back over there and sit down. And that's when he just started saying all kind of curse words, and he just went off on us. And I got up and walked over to the lady who was taking the boarding passes and told her that she needed to get security. And I guess about 3 or 4 minutes later, security came up, and we told him he was sitting over behind us, and they walked over there and calmed him down, I guess.
But they let him stay in the airport?
Yeah, they let him stay there.
They actually was telling him that if he was to approach us again, that they wouldn't allow him to fly. Right. So he stayed in his gate area. He didn't say anything else. Michael walked further down the airport and stood by at a sports bar and just stood there and watched television until it was time for us to depart, to stay out of his vision. Yeah. And when it was time to depart, we left, but he never come back around us.
And what's really strange about this?
Went back over to.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He just went back over to his seat and sat down, and he was just looking strange at us, you know, and it was just like it was like weird, you know.
Very.
It never happened to us before like that. We had just come off a great vacation.
And what's especially strange about this is a few days later, he was in Rhode Island, and according to the police report, he had told police that 3 individuals that he met in the airport in Virginia he thought were following him and laughing at him, and he was still acting in a way that can be described as paranoid and deluded. And you believe that maybe he was talking about you?
Yes. Yes. I really think that was targeted towards our family. And that's what really strikes me as strange, because I thought it was over. It happened. We moved on. But to think that it really affected him like that, when I read that he had vibrations from the laughter in his body, that was really striking to me. And to know that we were still on his mind, you know, in such a way.
And how soon after the
amazing.
How soon after the attack on Monday, and the release of the killer's mugshot, how soon after that did you realize this was the same man that you had encountered more than a month ago in the airport in Virginia?
For me, the same day.
Well, I knew it immediately. Tuesday morning when I woke up, that's the first thing I saw was him. I was like, man, that's the guy.
Really?
That's the guy I had the confrontation with. Yeah. And it freaked me out, man.
My sister-in-law called me Monday when it was released and said, Glenda, turn on the television. She was so nervous. She was like, turn on the television. I was like, what? What, Vivian, what? And I turned on the television, and I tell you, I started screaming. Literally started screaming. I was, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, no, that is the guy. Oh my God, that is that guy. Yeah. And, you know, and I just feel like we were so fortunate and blessed.
To make it through that.
I'm telling you, we were covered.
Last question for you, too. Has anybody from law enforcement talked to you about this encounter?
No.
No.
All right, I have a suspicion they will be. Michael and Glenda Boyd, thank you so much for your time.